Which borough has the most noise complaints? This will be our second use case using Pandas. In this video, we are going to take a look at asking a business question. Which borough has the most noise complaints? And answering the question using Pandas and EDA. Let's head over to our notebook. As usual, we go through our imports. Once done, we'll continue with our NYC311 service requests example. So we'll load the data using the read_CSV function. Now, I'd like to know which borough has the most noise complaints. So first, we'll take a look at the data to see what it looks like. To get the noise complaints, we need to find the rows where complaint type column is noise street sidewalk. I'll show you how to do that and then explain what's going on. If you look at noise_complaints, you'll see that this worked. And it only contains complaints with the right complaint type. But how does it work? Let's deconstruct it into two pieces. The first piece is the filtering condition that we put inside our data frame, where we say the complaint type of the complaints data frame has to be equal to noise street sidewalk. If we execute this, you'll see that we get an array of Boolean values, that is, truthy and false values. When we index our data frame with this array, we get just the rows where our Boolean array evaluated to true. It's important to note that for row filtering by a Boolean array, the length of our data frame's index must be the same length as the Boolean array used for filtering. You can also combine more than one condition with the ampersand operator like this. So I filter out the complaint types where the value is noise street sidewalk. I then filter values from the complaints data frame where the borough column is valued at Brooklyn. And then I combine these two operations or combine these two conditions to generate my filtered data set. And there we go. If you notice, you'll see that the complaint type is noise street sidewalk, and if we scroll over to the borough column, you will see that the values are all Brooklyn. Now, if we just wanted a few columns out of this filtered data frame, then we can subset it further and use the column names that we want to extract. We still see here that the complaint type and the borough are the respective values we want it to be. A small sidebar about NumPy arrays. On the inside, the type of column is Pandas series. So this is how we initialize a typical series in Pandas. And Pandas series are internally nothing but NumPy arrays. So if you add dot values at the end of any series, you'll get its internal NumPy equivalent array, which goes something like this. So if I get the values out of a Pandas series, the output will be the same. So this binary array selection business is actually something that works with any NumPy array. So if I take a NumPy array 1, 2, 3, and if I try putting a filtering condition there, I'll just end up with Boolean values, just like the way we saw in our previous Pandas example. And if I use that condition to subset a NumPy array, I'll actually end up getting the filtered NumPy array. So summarizing, Pandas is a data frame object. Each data frame consists of multiple series where each column can be visualized as a series. Each Pandas series is just a NumPy array implementation, and hence our filtering techniques using the Boolean array strategies work just fine. So on to the main event. Which borough has the most noise complaints? The first step to resolving that is to, of course, put in place our filtering condition that we've already seen before. So is_noise gets us the Boolean values for each of the rows in our data frame where the complaint type is noise street sidewalk. And then we filter our data frame using the above condition. Finally, we do the typical dot value counts function to extract the counts grouped by the boroughs. And we get our answer. It's Manhattan. But what if we wanted to divide by the total number of complaints just to make it a bit more sense? That would be easy too. So to get percentage values, all I need to do is do a value counts of the whole data set and divide it by our filtered data set. So in this case, we are doing noise complaint counts divided by the total complaint counts. And there we go. We get a percentage/proportion values where we can look at things and understand them better. And of course, a better representation of our insights is through a plot. So all we have to do is the computation that we went through in the last line, and then do a dot plot function on it and set the kind equal to bar, so we get a bar chart. So Manhattan really does complain about noise much more than the other boroughs. Neat. And there's our insight.